Hey, welcome to Grim and Perilous Plays. I just decided to start the stream just for shits and giggles. I left them muted so you don't hear what they're saying. But yeah, we're playing some Grim and Perilous.
doing
Oh wait, no,
so.
we're not playing Grim and Perilous Plays. That doesn't make any sense. We're playing Heart tonight. I figure if I didn't just go, like they'd probably just keep talking forever. There's a lot of
We
energy.
can keep talking shit about Jeff
There's a
if they
lot
can't
of-
hear us.
There's a lot of energy. No, they can hear you now.
Jeff.
I mean, that's
Oh, okay.
what they
It's
heard.
just because I wanted to hang out with Jeff,
Mhm.
but he hung out with Steve and then said, I mean, it could be
Well,
because
Steven came to
drove
Phoenix.
to him. Yeah.
Yeah, he came to me.
Yeah.
So
All
like
right.
a DoorDash
So-
delivery.
I'll be at your house next week,
A
Jeff.
sexy DoorDash.
Did you get a refund on that
delivery.
Yeah,
delivery?
exactly.
Oh, thank you, Chuck.
Yeah, I saw him walking in. I'm like, yeah, that's Steven right there. That's great.
Yeah,
We
it's
sat
like
according
DoorDash
to-
and Strippergram
to hair
all at the
length.
same time.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, we had some tacos, some good tacos
Oh.
and everything.
Street
Ooh.
tacos.
I mean,
old street
tacos is what
tacos.
happens, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then I left Jeff with the bill.
Afterwards,
he did.
As you do.
for tacos.
Yeah. He's like, I gotta go. Hang on, I gotta go to the bathroom. And then I didn't see him until today when we played One Ring earlier. And I was like, huh, that's weird. That's so strange.
Oh, I thought I
Anyhow,
said goodbye. I'm sorry. That's my bad.
I think we're all being extraordinarily insensitive to Jeremy.
Sorry, Jeremy.
Jeremy is the only one whose character is safe tonight, as he, like me, did not go to Gen Con. The rest of you are fucking pricks. And
Wait. I helped pick out your dice.
that's true. That's true. But you're still a fucking prick. So anyway,
I mean, I paid for the dice, so I think that counts for something too.
it did until your bullshit today in our other game.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a dick.
So, why don't we go ahead and introduce some characters? It has been a couple weeks since we played. I think someone's posting some shit in Discord. So, let's start with Adam. Adam, who are you? Who are you playing? You know the drill.
Well, hello. I'm Esme, and we are here to go on an adventure. We just arrived at our location, and we're going to have so much fun. And I've got my buddy, and I'm not going to lose him this time. And we're going to be all good. We're just going to go in. We're going to get the oil from the Blackfire, and we're going to go home, and we're going to save the day because that's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, none of those things are probably going to happen, but that's fine. I like the optimism. Next up, we've got Chuck. Chuck is playing Lucius, sometimes known as Luscious, Lucius, something like that.
That's
Chuck,
me.
who the hell are you playing? And yeah.
I'm Lucius, cleric of the meat tree. The meat tree might be named the meat tree. I don't know yet. I have no idea. I was caught totally on guard, off guard, sideways, left. I don't. Hi everyone, I'm Chuck, and I'm playing Lucius. I do things with stuff, and you put the feet together like this, with Jeff's face in the middle.
Wide right in the middle. Okay. All right. Well, that was well said. That was well said, Chuck. Excellent. Well done.
Yeah.
Mike, you're next. You also went to Gen Con. Now, I might not know you as well as some of these others, but I think I know you well enough to call you a fucking prick. But go ahead and tell us about your character and whatever.
Yeah. So Dante is a drow. He's also a hound, and he's here to kick people off tall buildings tonight. That's his
Ooh.
goal.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a
So
shame.
whether and they probably deserve it, Zenobe, or whoever, you know.
If you do
So-
that, you get on my
yeah.
good side. Anyone who kills Steven tonight, you're on my good side.
It doesn't say kill someone; it just says kick them off a tall tower.
Wow.
Whether the fall
God.
kills them, that's up to the gods.
Mhm.
Actually, it's up to the player according to the rules.
That's
just,
true.
You know, I
Yeah.
am a rules lawyer here.
You fall in,
Mhm.
you fell in a soft spot. It's fine.
See,
Build the
rules are really
spikes.
just a starting point. They're really just open for discussion, and
Mhm.
we kind of go from there.
Like the
Yeah.
pirate code, it's just more like guidelines.
It's a
It's
guy.
more like guidelines, you know. I mean, I hear you all have. A couple of you have met the people who have made this game, so I guess you guys know better
was gonna
than
bring
old
that
me because I wasn't in Gen Con and couldn't meet people. That's fine. Okay. All right. Bottom row. Hi, Jen.
Hi.
Go ahead. Tell us about your character.
Tonight I'm playing myself, Or I'll be playing Zelina Frey. She's a witch.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I got.
Fair
'Cause
enough.
I'm a prick.
Yeah. The prickiest of all pricks, Steven, tell us about your stupid character.
So I will tell you about my character, but first, while I have a captive audience, I'm going to tell you about how the very first night of Gen Con, my friend group and I went out to a Greek restaurant just like 15 minutes away from the con.
Dude's like messaging
and-
me in Discord about this, like just salt in the wound.
and-
Okay.
While we're eating, I look up and look who comes in to this restaurant a mile and a half away from the con. Grant Howitt and Christopher Taylor. How crazy was that? And I asked him, hey, are you Grant Howitt? He said, yeah, and this is Chris. I told him how we play Heart. I told him how much we love the game. And they were incredibly nice and incredibly gracious. They came over, they talked to us while they were waiting for their table. It was a really lovely experience. What did you want from me again, Jeff?
Your stupid character, tell us about it.
Yeah. So I'll be playing Zenobe. And he is a junk mage that is obsessed with the drowned queen, and he worships someone named Zenobe, or something named Zenobe.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I like how you act like you're all good friends with the creators of Heart and everything. But earlier today, I feel like you forgot the name of the creator, and I had to remind you of that.
No. Well, he will. Grant Howitt, get in here and watch this. I called him out by name at the restaurant. I just had a little, I got 4 hours of sleep last night. And that's all.
Yeah, you mentioned it a few times. And then finally, the good person of the group, also a non-Gen Con attender, like myself, not a fucking prick, just a good person, just a good person through and through. Never does anything to hurt anyone's feelings. Never needles anyone for that which they weren't able to do for reasons. Jeremy, tell us about Malik, hero of the story.
I don't really know what to say after that. I mean, you're a wonderful liar. I appreciate it. I'm going to be playing Malik. I'm an old penitent cleaver. I eat things and do weird shit. But mostly I'm a good person.
Great person. The best.
I've grown
best.
closer to Zenobe than I would have liked in the recent session.
You know what?
My neck is still damp.
Okay.
Because he was riding on my shoulders.
It took me
he
a
made
second,
sure to
like,
message
the
me
hell's
that Zenobe goes commando and his crotch is always
right.
moist.
That's
I
right.
hate you
It's not
so
just
much.
his crotch; it's him entirely.
I hate
That sounds like one of those like weird churches of the city beneath, like may your crotch always be moist, and so you move on. Yeah. All right. So normally I do some sort of summary. I totally forgot to do that. But I think I can do this on sort of on a riff. You all have been traveling from your the Bleeding Hollow, which is your haven, long, far away, and you've been traveling for a significant period of time as that haven was falling apart due to a sudden lack of Spire black oil, which was being used to essentially fuel the place. And you have been sent all across the Heart to try to get to this place that you are now at, this factory that is crawling with weird creatures, but also with all sorts of oils. And if you could find some way to get it and bring it back, you might be able to salvage that piece of shit place that you guys all created a couple months back. I think that's it. Yeah, and stuff happened. Zenobe sat on Malik's shoulders. I don't know. People did stuff. And why don't we start up? So we are finally here at the Spire Black factory. You kind of arrived. And the first thing you kind of notice is that it's just there's like a horrible smell to it, right? It's just got this terrible, foul, like crudeness on the air. You can smell smoke, obviously, as you see, like in the horizon, there's all these like spouts of fire where you see erupting up. You see these like that, almost like a huge swamp or a flooded cavern filled with this sort of discolored, almost rainbow-like coloring here and there, reflecting off these various mage lights in the ceiling. This oil that's sifting around. You see in front of you a massive factory, but the factory has been for a very long time now, you would imagine, in a horrible state. You can see there's what looks to be some kind of exhaust pipes that go up significantly high towers. You see several floors, entire sections of the building itself have been kind of ripped apart. I think I actually also made a few. I've been doing a lot of mid-journey, I've been going on a mid-journey lately, and I got a couple images for you all. So I'll go ahead and share the first. So, but you look around, and not only do you see like these tall stacks of some kind of of this like the residue of this building, and you see these huge, thick, billowing clouds that are just pouring up out of it that are completely covering the entirety. All of you like instinctively just start coughing because you're just kind of covered with it, so much wrap cloths around your faces and whatnot to make sure you can breathe. You can see that swimming in some of this oil, crawling on the remnants of the buildings in here, are all these different strange looking creatures that seem kind of part tar, part steel, residue of some kind. And there's just dozens and dozens and maybe hundreds of these kind of moving about. They're all small, kind of feral-like. You see they're moving almost Spider-Man-like up walls here and there. You also notice, like, occasionally moving about within this sort of sewage of oil, this kind of current that seems to be moving in no clear pattern. Like, it seems like there's something underneath the surface of this place, something large and massive. You see occasionally like this hump appear, like piercing through the surface of oil, and some kind of strange, huge, like gargantuan amalgam of trash like roll over like it's a whale suddenly breaching and then flop back down into the water itself. So that's what you have before you. It's a massive cavern. There's an insane amount of oil here that would be very useful to you. So we're going to treat this essentially like an extended test where you're going to try to figure out ways to navigate all of the various things that could be problematic here. These spouts of fire, this horrible smoke, these strange like creatures of tar and steel, that massive thing under the surface. And you can see that the factories themselves, there's ways inside. Like, you can find ways inside. But this is where we're at. So what would you all like to do?
Yeah. Any of you got an idea?
Well, did we bring anything to gather up some oil?
Wait, was that our plan the entire time, just to march over here and like grab a couple handfuls of oil and take it back?
I have a pocket.
Honestly, I didn't expect us to get this far to begin with, so...
Well, I'm thinking we should probably talk with someone and see if we can set up some sort of a trade deal so they can start bringing things to us on a regular basis.
Everything I can see here appears feral.
I mean, you can always look for someone in charge. Can't hurt.
Okay,
I mean,
let's go inside then.
Okay. So you can see in front of you, like I said, the whole cavern is like partially submerged in this sort of sewage, right? You can tell it's spire black runoff and everything. There's oil mixed with trash and other refuse. So really, who wants to take the lead in sort of navigating this liquid and getting inside one of these factories? Who wants to take the lead on that, and how do you go about doing so?
I have some thought. So one of my abilities lets me take the skill of something if I eat it after it's been recently killed. Is there wall crawling a skill of sorts, would you call it?
Sorry, say that again. Is there
You said
wall
these
crawling?
creatures are like crawling along the wall, like they have
Oh,
some
yeah.
sort of unusual
Yeah.
mobility.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be within the threshold of what I can use that ability for? Because it only lasts for a scene. But that might be enough to like help us find ways in.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, it would probably be, I mean, I would
If
say
not, then I'm cool not doing that.
Do you have the evade skill?
I do.
Okay, so then we would say we'll give you a knack, like the idea of sort of being able to vertically climb or something like that, or maybe your hands get sticky suddenly with the palms of this spire black, and then it's able to do that. So yeah, if you want to take a scoop of this and devour it somewhat.
Okay, so it would be evade and then.
Okay, so then you have a choice. Technology is fine, but also cursed. Those are the two domains.
I would go cursed. I don't believe I have tech, but I do have cursed. All right, I'll give that a try.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, so you reach down, you scoop up this horrifically foul-smelling chunk of refuse and oil in your hand. It's dripping, and it's almost kind of snot-like. It's not quite wanting to detach from your hand. It's just continuing to drip, and eventually it splits and falls. You can see in between like the specks of black, there's all sorts of these unidentifiable chunks, possibly meat, possibly like rusted metals, possibly other types of trash or debris from the destruction of this factory. Take a deep breath and down it goes. Within moments, you look down at your hands, look at your feet, or your sort of hooves in a way, or not hooves, but like paws. Yeah. And you can see that the actual skin that covers it suddenly starts to bubble up a bit, and you can see starting to sprout out of the pores of your hand little tiny eruptions of black, and it just coats all over. You play against like the wall or the ground, and you just feel your hand just grow suddenly sticky against it. You pull it back, and you're able to sort of crawl up one of the cavern walls and almost go, as you go all the way up, the rest of you are watching him just crawl up the side of this cavern wall. You see him go vertical to the very top. You lose him in the smoke for a bit, and then you watch him just drop down on top of one of the still intact walls of this massive factory. And he's got this, we'll say maybe you had a rope and you create this kind of zip line or something, or like this sort of crawl line, allowing everybody else to climb on up. Okay, go ahead and roll, we'll say D4. You critically succeeded. So I'm treating this like an extended test. Go ahead and roll a D4, multiply it by 2.
D4 divided by 2.
Multiply it by 2. Unless you have
gotcha.
a delve equipment.
No, I don't.
Okay. That's good. All right.
Nice.
So yeah, you all bypass this huge swath of this kind of swampy oil, and when you look down, you can see that these creatures are kind of moving about. As you get close to them, they kind of like look up at you curiously. Their faces, you can't even really make them out. You can see like a glow of something as like the black kind of drips down in front of their faces, like some kind of lens underneath it. I can give you, like I said, I did a lot of mid-journey pictures, but you can see they kind of move around. They stand upright at times and kind of look over at you. You think they have like patched into their bodies what looks like pieces of metal or possibly equipment of some kind, but like it's impossible to really kind of discern exactly what those things do. They don't become immediately aggressive, but you can tell they're eyeing you with a significant amount of wariness. While the rest of you are kind of climbing up the rope to the top of this intact wall, you see kind of emerging from that liquid below and kind of taking kind of a half-hearted swipe at some of you that are just too far out. You're too far up. You're too far out of the way. But they kind of take this leisurely swing, this what looks like this extension, almost like a tentacle or an arm that's just refuse. It's just like the extension of a massive dumpster that's like an appendage sweeping out at you. And you see for a very brief moment, like this almost bipedal creature kind of stand, and the oil kind of drips from it, and you just see what looks like machinery, but some of it doesn't seem to be like helping this thing function or move. It just seems like an amalgam of steel, of sort of strange objects left over seeping about within this kind of oil lake. As all of you stand on top of it, you see it stand up, and it kind of swipes at you, and then you see it kind of sift and kind of drift back into the oil. And once it does, all of a sudden, in an eerie manner, the surface becomes still. What would y'all like to do next?
Would you consider this place a populated location?
It is populated, but you have yet to find any the creatures that are like kind of staring at you and watching you. They don't seem to be communicating with you. You're not sure if they're like intelligent, but
okay.
There's a population here. There's definitely an ecosystem of some kind.
Yeah, because I was just curious if I could use my hound ability called Custodian, where if you are in a populated location, you can always find someone willing to take you in, give you somewhere to sleep, and maybe even some warm food. So I was wondering if I could use that to help locate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a role associated with it, or is it just a?
You gain the min skill, and then you gain, I guess, that as well. There's no roll, but
okay.
I could roll for. I mean, and this makes
no, you don't
sense.
have to. I want to get. I mean, it's yours if it's your ability. You.
Yeah.
It's
It doesn't say roll a skill. No.
Okay, so from up top, Dante, as maybe you got your one of your rifles or your guns out, you're kind of staring through the scope, trying to all this poisonous gas like wafting past. You see in the distance on the other side of what looks like the remains of one of the factory floors. You can tell there are multiple industrial sites. Like again, massive cavern, like probably good 2 miles across at least, to the point where you can't even see the other side because of the smoke. But you can see, like on the opposite side of this factory floor, you see about the second story up out of the oil, which seeps into the factory floor itself. You can see water kind of sifting through here. You see lights on within what looks possibly like some old offices or rooms or sort of like specialty locations within a factory, like some kind of ancillary place that's kind of attached to the factory floor. And you see figures moving about it like it's some sort of pocket of population.
Yeah. I'll point off into the distance, and I think we go that way. I think I see some sort of signs of life, lights, people meandering about in a bit more of a meaningful manner than some of these creatures that are milling about. So let's head that way.
Okay.
Very well. How difficult is it? Like, what's between us and there?
So you could basically try to traverse the walls itself. Like there's like the walls are still somewhat intact, but you can tell much has fallen. So you're kind of jumping from like rafter to rafter, or you're moving across a portion of like a metal rock walkway, half of which has been fallen down into the mud. So it is not the easiest path to travel. Go ahead and again, someone can take the lead on this. You don't necessarily need everyone to roll, but if someone wants to take the lead and kind of find a safe path, we can do like a discern if you're trying to find that safe path. I would take an evade as well too, since it's a movement as well. And tech would probably be the most useful one here.
Don't have discern.
Esme will step forward and say, I think I see something that way. Maybe we should go that way. It feels right. I'll do a discern tech roll. Difficulty standard.
Difficulty standard, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you all watch as Esme takes the lead. She kind of moves out in front with lithe body, the swarm kind of moving about her a little bit, kind of helping her sort of navigate some of these pathways, which are very narrow. And you can see her moving across what looks like this rusted old pipe that connects one side to the next. And as she does, she slips. She kind of falls down for a bit, but lands, fortunately, on a rafter right below. And kind of shakes it off. It seems like you're okay. And then below, in that swampy oil that has filled the surface of the factory floor, a bubble kind of just bursts, and all of a sudden this pillar of fire, like in a liquid form, not even, it's kind of moving slower than you would imagine, but it hits you from below, and you kind of see it burn away parts of the metal, the rusted metal grate that you fell on. Go ahead, and you'll take... Do you have any beats for a specific type of fallout or anything, Esme?
Nope.
I wasn't sure. Okay. So we'll just call this blood then. We're on tier 2. Okay, so take... Sorry. Go ahead and take 6 points of stress as this liquid fire just wraps around like it's some kind of whip that just seems to be coiling around the walkway, kind of compresses around Esme, burns and melts the fire, and you can see singes part of Esme, who's able to tumble away at the last moment, but not before is wrapped up within this. Did you apply it?
Yeah, I did.
All right. So I rolled D12. 12. You okay?
She is okay right now.
All right. But
For
once the fire kind of retracts, kind of slowly, think of it like a snake popping up out of like a wicker basket that slowly sort of retreats back into it and dips beneath the surface. You do see an open path, but one that's careful, and Esme leads you down to what looks like this opening, and you hear music coming through the doors where this light is. You hear a voice. Just one. But Lucius, it sounds almost like sermonizing. Like you can hear someone,
Yeah.
It's like as if someone's giving a sermon of some kind.
Could I tell what kind of religion, sermon, what kind of information can I come off of listening in on them for a moment?
Yeah, you listen in, and no roll necessary here. You hear like this focus on like consumption and clarity. You hear the phrase like spiraling to infinity. Those sort of terms. It's like it references like the bones of the heart. Something like that seems to be what they're kind of referring to. No references to meat of any kind. It doesn't sound, I would say, like any particular faith that you've encountered thus far, but
Okay.
these strange faces pop up and out here and there.
Esme says, I'm okay. I'm okay. Oh. Now? She falls asleep immediately, and and then she closes her eyes but stays standing.
Esme, are you okay? Are you okay, Esme?
She'll be fine.
Okay.
She's in better hands than her own right now.
Well, Susan, then let's go introduce ourselves to whatever strange clergy is inside. I'll go ahead and open the door and take a step in.
Yeah, you push the door open. It's not locked. It's not barred in any way. You see the mage lights dancing around a little bit, but it takes a moment for you to realize that like that's not all that's giving off light. And you see in front of you what likely was some kind of meeting room for workers of some kind. You see chairs and things that have been arranged in some kind of semblance of rows or pews. And like your friend Bobby, you see this sort of ectoplasmic-like glow around probably about a dozen different people or ghosts of some kind that are either sitting in or hovering above some of these rows and these pews. None of them are making any sounds. You see they all look to have like some sort of worker type gear on. They have hard helmets and things. They have like safety harnesses that are attached on, and they kind of just seem to be in this trance-like state. But up ahead on kind of a makeshift pulpit of some kind, you see this chaplain of some kind with what would only be described as kind of like an apocalyptic like, visage. You can see that hair has been sort of ripped out along one side and kind of braided along the other. This beard that drifts down without any semblance of like order. As they kind of shift and move and turn, you see there's something sticking out of their back, like something's on their back. You can't quite make out what it is. But as you emerge, like he stops and he's like, "We have new followers. What do we have here? Come, my lost little children, join us and find clarity in the infinite deep of the heart." Yes. He kind of gestures with this almost bony looking hand at the handful of seats that are there. You see no other living creature in this room.
This is not the heart.
Oh.
We should stay a while and listen.
Stay a while.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Yes. Malik, roll a discern test really quick here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, roll a discern. I would say religion is probably the most suitable. And I'll give you a knack die on this as well.
Oh, okay. Let's see how that goes. Okay.
Okay. You, as like the head kind of turns in your direction, and you can see like hidden beneath it, this is a face that has familiarity to you. But at a, cleaner, certainly. Shaved, most likely. The hair combed and likely, pardon the pun here, oiled, kind of pushed back in some way, robes with greater regalness to them. You would recognize this as a member of an order that was further up near the surface, I would say. Chaplain. The name kind of, you think about it for a moment. You remember a name, Lloyd. I can't remember if it was a first or a last name. Human. But that's the name that comes to your mind.
If you'll forgive me, is it Lloyd? I think I know you.
Oh. And you see they adjust these like kind of almost steampunking like goggles. They wipe away the grime on the lenses. Come closer. Let an old man look at you.
It's a fine thing to see that you've maintained your faith this deep into the heart.
Have you? Oh, yes. You do look familiar. Have you journeyed here in search of the false Mecca, which sits like a bunion on the foot of the heart?
Nothing so grand. There's a settlement that needs the oil here. But perhaps there's more to learn.
No, there is always more to learn. Always. There is clarity in the infinity. Yes. Yes, you do look familiar now. Oh, what was your name? It escapes me. It escapes me. What is it? Tell me
It is
quickly.
fine. It is Malik.
Ah,
I'm pleased to
yes.
see you once more.
Are you now? We left on good standing? Yes. Yes, we did. You can tell he's clearly deranged. Like, this guy is not playing with a full deck. He's kind of going in and out of, kind of whispering to himself at times as well.
This conversation carries an unnecessary amount of exposition.
You are rude, young lady. We have given you no cause for interruption, and we speak with an old friend. You would interrupt us with mockery.
There is no mockery, only speaking the truth.
Are you? Are you?
Yes.
You are speaking judgments, subjectivity. Who are you to decide how much or how little exposition is warranted in conversations between old friends?
These things are unimportant.
Ah, once more. Subjectivity. Unimportant to you, important to some. Perhaps they are important to Malik, my old friend. Is it?
Yes.
Yes, my old
In fairness,
friend.
there are some whose livelihood depends upon us completing this, so I can appreciate my other friends' concern that we expedite things.
Ah,
It's so much easier when you can simply touch your heads together and exchange all information at once.
yes. That sounds very efficient.
That would be
Very
nice.
indeed.
You say this is the foot of the heart.
No, I
So-
did not. I said
Someone
the
did.
false Mecca. This
spire?
here's but a pit stop on the way to the center. The way to the infinite.
Do you plan on remaining at this pit stop or carrying forward?
I am here ushering those that need direction. And at a point when my direction is no longer required, I shall venture forth. Now is not that time, unless you carry a message I do not know about. What
You
is
should
that
join
message?
us. You should join us and we will come to the center.
Is that where you go?
This is where all must go.
Ah, on that we agree. Yes, on that we agree.
That one over there. There's Susan points to Zenobe. That one must be protected.
Kind of look.
It's true.
You have the smell of salt and coral on you.
Thanks.
Another false god.
Whoa, 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 whoa. No.
Do not feel insulted. There are many. They are all false, for there are no gods. Only angels.
So, I'm not really into the religious stuff, but I am very spiritual. And I worship the Drowned Queen and Zenobe. And one is like a god, and one is like everything.
There are no gods, but everything. That is infinity. Yes, we have common ground. Yes.
We have one accord.
That is too far. But we have found common ground. Accord sounds too formal.
Exposition can be warranted now.
I thank you for your permission, traveler. Who are the rest of you? A hound. I smell the fleas. Have you
Yeah.
bathed recently?
No,
Ah.
it's been at least a couple weeks since we've left our fine meat tree.
It has been far longer. Time plays tricks on you. It does. Time is a spiral, circling round and round itself. How can you count it?
Eh. Someone once told me it was relative, but that relative must be an asshole.
Humor. I am familiar. Not a fan, but I appreciate your attempt. Yes. I smell the faint stench of your regiment. It is near. It is near. Very, very near. On the opposite
Oh, yeah?
side of the false Mecca. Yes. You will find more of your kind, but they shall not like the appearance of you, and you shall not like what you see of them. No. They are different now.
Different how?
Very- Oh, that is a surprise for you. Yes.
Thought you didn't like surprises.
I do not, but I think you do. Do you?
I mean, if it's a surprise like, hey, surprise beer, yes, very much. But if it's like, hey, surprise kick in the nuts, no.
Well, they might not kick you in the nuts, but they will harm you, I think.
Oh,
Yes.
that's not as much fun, but we'll see.
Would
We
they harm only Dante, or would they bring harm to all of us?
Oh, well, they would harm all of you. For a time. And if you were to venture too closely, the bunker is not a safe place. Not a safe place at all. But
Bunker.
you seem like strong travelers, delvers into the deep. Yes, you are on the cusp of infinity. That is not a place many have made the trek. I am sure you
Dante.
can survive it.
Do you know anything about this bunker, Dante?
I mean, off the top of my head, bunkers are generally places, to protect things. So the question is, what are they trying to protect? That's what hounds do.
Dante, roll a discern. Let me check what I want for. 1 second. Let me check the domain. Warren or Desolate for domain?
Well, I have none of those, so
Mm-hmm.
so this should be fun. Discern desolate. That's not a 10. That's a failure.
Okay. Yeah, you're not sure exactly what he refers to. Like everything what you're saying, like your presumption is true, but I mean, you generally know like the story of like hounds, like the 33rd Regiment is like the number that is so oft repeated, and you know that long ago they ventured into the heart in an attempt to sort of pacify it, right? Like and it failed, like so many other groups, like Vermissian Knights,
Right.
with the et cetera, and you know that the remnants of that regiment were never really discovered, and perhaps because he refers to it in sort of a proper way, he's referring maybe to that group as opposed to just any old.
That's interesting. I'd be interested to check them out, but if they have lost their way, then it may be best to avoid them.
Oh, some have. Some have found it. Oh, yes. Some have found it indeed. Which ones you encounter, though? Well, that shall be an interesting day. Yes.
Oh.
Or
Well,
it
the
will
order for
be.
today is potentially to try to acquire some black spire and an oil and potentially get it back to Dimitri.
I do not know this, Dimitri.
It is the holy foliage of flesh that our settlement is built around.
Ah,
It's no big deal.
I see. I did smell the rot of meat on all of you. The sweats, they seem to penetrate the odors of this place.
Yeah. Meat sweats are a sign of our religion.
We
To
do.
be
s-
fair, it has been a while since we've had meat, so must be old sweat.
You bring not a piece of your tree with you.
I do carry some of the rubbing with me, but it's been a while, like you said, so it might be a bit of an old spice smell.
How curious. How curious indeed. How do you remain tethered to it?
Those of us who consume the flesh of the tree are themselves flesh of the tree.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, it has taken us a long time to rebuild those parts.
Yes. This makes sense to me. Yes. Meat.
So,
It doesn't make sense to me. Could you explain it?
Shh.
No.
Quiet, false god worshipper. As I was saying, meat. You are meat. And he turns now at this point, and he shows you like his back, and you can see that like the skin has been stripped away from his spine. The vertebrae has kind of been ripped out, slightly protruded, so you can see all of the ridges of each vertebrae going down, like the bones kind of showing themselves. You are meat, I am bone. Yes, we are like sky and soil. Yes. It is good to see you once more.
Some pieces of the swarm start to land on his back. They start crawling over it and seeing if there's anything they can harvest off of it.
Something is very wrong.
Do not mind them.
Are you robbing me? Are you thieves? You are thieves. You shall not. No.
you calm yourself. We are not thieves.
Do I feel like rubbing some muscle honey on his spine would help him out?
You don't see. It doesn't seem to be in pain. He doesn't. I mean, he seems deranged, but he doesn't seem to be in pain, like physical pain.
I'll save that for sandwiches later then.
Okay.
No, friend. We are
I'm glad I
not-
continue to serve.
We have no intent to rob you. In fact, I would ask, is there anything you need?
Anything I need?
Tell me something.
He kind of looks out at his flock of like his ghost patrons there in front of him. I cannot leave them. No, you could travel to the Mecca, to the inverted spire which pierces the heart itself. Speak with cruel sadness. Discover how far they have excavated, if they have found it. If the bone serpent has come free, if infinity has come, and I have missed it, could I have missed it?
Infinity has not come yet.
You would notice if Zenobe was here.
You know, given what you're speaking of, I think I have some reading material you might enjoy.
Reading?
And I have the tome from those weird people that had that like time dilation stuff that they worshipped.
Mm-hmm.
That seems appropriate for this.
I have been reading the same manuals over and over again. Over and he kind of points over to you. See like all of these like operations manual books and such that he's like kind of ripped apart and pieced back together here and there, and it's all just like how the factory functions and things. Oh, friend Malik, thank you. Oh, excellent. I shall return favor. Yes, only right. The Mecca has been fractured. There are factions, several. There are more false gods like your salt and water friend. Yeah. So many false gods. All gods are false. Only angels. Yes, only angels. But there are some there that would tell you different. Tell you the heart is something else. And that it is not. Infinity whip, yes, but something... Something different? Something... wrong? Something... which is
Wrong.
personal. Hush! Hush, salt worshipper. You are nothing. You worship salt and water. What are you? That is nothing. Man,
Well, I still like Zenobe.
Strange. Zenobe? Who is this Zenobe you speak? That is a very
Zenobe is
foolish
everything.
name. It is not. Infinity is everything. Zenobe is not. Zenobe is a very foolish name.
This one is named Zenobe,
That
and
tracks.
he is also named the Heart Zenobe.
That is very peculiar and presumptuous of you. To name
I
yourself.
didn't name it. Its name is Zenobe.
Fool. You are foolish. Yes? Are you all foolish for traveling with this one? Or are you
You-
just charitable?
You have named the heart Infinity.
No,
Is that
I have
correct?
not. The heart is the heart. With it comes infinity. And with it clarity. And we will
Infinity
see
is what the
forever.
heart brings.
And then, yes.
This makes sense.
Yes. We have found common ground.
Thank you.
More on that common ground.
Yes.
We need a way to claim some of the Spire Black that is here
Ah,
and return it to our meat tree.
ah. Why would you... No, I shall not ask questions. If this is what my friend Malik wants, then yes, I shall eat.
That is
Be-
what Malik needs.
Be wary. There are those who have not yet found their way to the life after. There are those who still cling. To the tar,
We're
to
back.
the steel, to the smoke. And they shall harm you if you attempt to remove it. But you can. Auto-burdened beasts. You may find them. They linger here. Safety. If you can repair them, they can drag with you numerous barrels. Not infinity, that is far too many. But several, hundreds perhaps. Who knows?
Do any
Your
of these
call.
manuals mention they look like you said there's operation manuals?
Mhm.
Do any of them look to be in good enough shape to maybe assist us with something like that later?
Yeah,
Or are they
so
all
I would say
completely
you'd probably
wrecked?
it would probably give you a knack die if you tried to do like a mend tech roll on something to repair it, make it working. Yeah.
Hey, Jeff. Real quick, with my bees being on this guy's back for a while, I've been trying to gain an establishment of what happened to him.
Okay.
With them, like crawling all over him.
Okay. Is that like are you tapping into like a auto power or are you looking for a roll?
I'm looking for a roll more than
Okay.
anything.
Discern, occult, or religion. I can take either.
Where do you discern occult?
Standard's fine.
So crit success.
Okay. You get the briefest of flashes that are like these, like you're getting channeled back from the bees themselves, or kind of like biting into this, and you're getting this weird sort of extrapolation from this point in time. Like you're getting flashes from the past, flashes from the future, just kind of extending off in these different directions. And you notice this is self-mutilation. This is you see like this sort of strange ritual, or others that are kind of clothed in much different clothing than he wears now. Again, more regal, but stained and soiled, as if it's seen wear and tear, but not nearly as derelict as what you're seeing now. And they're going through this sort of awful mutilation ritual, like cutting into the back, sort of ripping away the flesh, propping up the spine somewhat so it arcs outward with these sort of strange stints of metal. And you can see that in the background of this, there is kind of like an inverted spire that seems to be piercing down into something, and wallowing around it. You can see all these different groups, but there's these small groupings of people within these self-contained sections, and they seem to be performing this kind of ritual on more than one person.
But are there any signs of infection or anything else that's coming along with this that could cause even worse problems?
You do not sense that this is an ailment. This doesn't seem to be adversely affecting him. Something he appears. You would imagine his mind is probably addled more than anything. But physically he seems fine. He's of an advanced age. You can tell that for sure. Like arthritic probably, but nothing from this mutilation seems to be bothering him.
That is an extreme amount of dedication you've shown. Enough to where you have not caused yourself further harm that is fatal. Most others would not be able to do such a thing.
Which is death. Death is nothing. Death is just another page. Yes, as you see. I will come to death at some point, as will you all, and we will go elsewhere, or we will stay. It is that simple.
Thank you for allowing us to look over it.
Thank you for allowing the exposition.
And my bees are going to gather what they can from him that won't hurt him, if possible. Like any dead skin cells, something like that. I'm trying to gain a resource from him, basically. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, so with a critical success, go ahead and I would say you can take like a D8 worth of, let's call it like sort of bone residue or something like that.
Okay.
Give it like the occult tag.
Sweet.
All right. What would you all like to do?
Well, he's given us the information we need. Find one of these burden auto beasts, repair it, and use it to return the Spire Black.
Yeah. We can try to repair as many as we can find. But, yeah, let's see what we can do.
Very well. Friend, if we need a place to rest, may we return here?
Of course. You are free. Friend of Malik, friend of me. Yes.
I mean, I can get us a place to rest.
Except for this one. This one must wait out in the hole.
I'm good with that.
The salt is overpowering. And the sadness.
The sadness is strong.
So much sadness.
And so moist.
I mean, I wasn't sad until now.
You were always sad. You just did not know it.
Zenobe,
Yeah?
you do not have to be alone. For Esme is sleeping right now. We can watch over you while you're outside.
Oh, no, I was saying I can get us a place to rest. I can take us to the Drowned Queen.
We believe they wish to rest here. You must rest outside.
Wait,
I mean-
what do you mean when you say take us to the Drowned Queen?
Watch. And I will start casting a spell.
You will not do that in here and profane my temple.
I don't give a shit about him. He called me sad.
Okay. Try to roll a test.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking up. It's Discern Religion.
Roll Discern Religion. Roll it at Dangerous. As you attempt to cast a spell for a false god within the temple of another, who is surrounded by
Luscious, help me with this.
large group of ghost friends.
No.
Everybody takes 2 steps away from you.
I will not stop you, for this will be very entertaining.
Zenobe, perhaps we should go outside.
It would be.
You
polite.
can't stop the train from rolling.
I don't think he's listening.
I
No.
don't think he
course
ever
not.
has.
Okay, success at a cost.
Okay, so you cast the spell, and you can describe it in a second. But what you essentially what you see happen as he sort of commands these sort of ghost patrons in the pews to begin to swarm you, and you see they all just like one after the other, they just shift right through him, right through Zenobe, another, and then another. They all just kind of bombard him. None of them kind of rip him physically apart, but you see each time they pass through him, one after the other, they leave some sort of ectoplasmic resin behind, and each time Zenobe gets paler and paler and paler until the spell finally completes. So what does it look like when your portal opens?
All right, so what's the floor look like here?
The floor, it's mostly grime and metal.
But like solid metal, not like a grate.
Solid metal inside, yeah, and one stress, by the way.
Perfect. So I just kneel down and I take off my hat, and my hair, which is always just dripping and soaking wet, becomes even more wet, and there's just like it's like flooding down until there's a giant puddle surrounding me. And then when you look at that puddle, you see that it's actually like a stairway down, and that leads us to a temple of the Drowned Queen.
Very nice.
You got to walk through the puddle to get there.
And you see the chaplain is got his horrified look on his face. He looks over to you, Malik. You are no friend. No friend. You have allowed him to profane my halls. How could you do such a thing?
We're not able to control him, but at least he is gone for some time.
You are powerful. You are large, strong. You could do what you wish to him.
But that is the thing, isn't it? It's the choice of it. I've shown violence enough. I would prefer to choose mercy where needs be. That one deserves mercy, as hard as it is to give.
He deserves a slice across the throat. He does. Blood will not pour out. It will be salt and sadness.
He's probably true.
This is
Nope.
probably true.
Knowing him,
if
it
you
is
wish.
also knowing him, it is also salt and sacrifice that he has gone through many a time.
I think we lose Jen.
Jen disappeared.
She'll probably be
I'm
back.
still here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're all standing here. There's this portal to the Drowned Queen.
Yeah, it's just a 4-foot diameter puddle that you can just like start stepping down into.
Susan will turn to the rest of everyone and say, "Stay here, rest. I will try and retrieve him. We will try and retrieve him." And Susan will go into the
All
portal.
the way down. I'm like still there, like just like waiting on everyone to follow.
Susan will walk into the portal.
Dante will look at the others. Did we need to rest? I think I'm gonna go look for these these beasts that we can repair.
Okay.
Gonna hunt them down.
That sounds
I'll
great.
join you.
Oh, we did lose her. Okay. No, we lost
No,
somebody.
we lost Chuck.
Oh God!
Oh,
Everybody calm
It's
down.
too important.
He is way more important than Steven. Hang on one second.
Just salt and sadness.
God.
Jeremy.
All right, where is everybody? Let's see.
We got all switched around.
Yeah, we're all switched around now. All right, so
Jeff, I don't think you realize how accurately salt and sadness just describes me as a person.
All right, let me move some stuff around.
I
see if
worship
can
my God by crying
make-
because it's
Yeah.
so
No, I'm not talking about Zenobe. I'm talking about Steven here. I'm just salt and sadness.
We know you're the real Zenobe.
Chuck's
Gotta base it
internet's
off
going
someone.
bad.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Is he in Discord? Mentioned something?
Yeah, he
He
said
messaged.
his intent is crapping itself, but I think that meant internet.
No, I think his
The intent is there.
is to crap himself. That's what's happening. Hang on, I'm trying to get like some sort of overlay working here. Everything's
Since it
happening.
threw everyone into disarray. Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. Got 2 of these caps going. One over there.
Well, it's been a fun session, guys. I'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Alright. There's Mike's. I couldn't find Mike's. I was like,
I'm
where's
somewhere
Mike's
around
vision?
here. It's fine.
I found you. You go up there. You go over there. All right, that sort of works.
His intent pooped itself.
Chuck's always intent is to poop himself. Oh, man.
Well, that picture's pretty accurate.
All right, there we go. So that'll work for now. Okay, so Mike, you wanted to go kind of hunt down some of these automatons.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, Malik, help me hunt some of these things down.
Lord.
Or
I'm
you take the lead.
sorry.
Hunt tech is probably the most useful thing to do. And if you're helping out, if one of you's helping the other, obviously take the assist die as well. And normal's fine. Standard.
Do you have tech?
I have hunt. I don't have tech.
I could eat something and get tech.
I thought you already did eat something here.
Oh, that's true. I did already.
Yeah,
eat
you're still
something.
here, so that still counts. Yeah.
Oh, if that still counts, then yeah, I guess. I
Yeah,
should
I'll
do that.
assist you.
Okay. It's the hunt.
Yeah, because you also
Tech.
did your thingamajigger. Yeah,
We're not
prep.
still in the delve though, are we? Like for the
This is all. So I'm treating this like an extended skill challenge. There's no
Yeah.
specific timer on this, so it's just like as you guys wear down that resistance, you'll be able to like acquire the automatons, get
Understood.
some oil, etc., etc. So
basically it takes away my mastery or my knack from the hunt.
yeah, we're not in a delve though. No, delve's over.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's do it.
Just using it as like a structure and timing.
Okay.
You guys are rolling crazy good tonight. A lot of critical successes. Okay, so the 2 of you head out. Zenobe descended down into his watery bullshit place. And Esme, where did you go after him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Zelina, where's Zelina at this point?
Zelina just isn't really participating and is just watching from afar.
Okay. Yeah.
Because as
Uh,
soon
On
as he
down to the
started
watery
casting,
bullshit.
I just stood back from him.
Okay. So Dante, Malik, you leave the room. Esme, you chase out. You go after Zenobe. Zelina, you kind of hang out. You're sort of in this chapel now. You've noticed that the chaplain doesn't seem to have any issues with you at all. Doesn't actually. You can tell that they've been avoiding eye contact with you this whole time. Like just not looking at you, not talking like directly to you. You get this sense that they're kind of unnerved and afraid of you in some way, which is probably not the most uncommon thing for a witch. They probably get that kind of thing from time to time.
Always.
Yeah, you can see once or twice like these eyes kind of flicker out the corners and they kind of look over in your direction, but then quickly like right and as if like they're afraid for you to see them looking at you. Dante and Malik, though, you head back out. You start kind of exploring the walls, the rafters, moving about. And with a critical success, I'll say you find 2 of these large, sort of half... You can tell they're definitely machinery, but they're kind of shaped in what looks like these massive, like, almost like hippopotamuses with these, like almost, or more like a kind of a large armadillo-like creature. And you can see that they're parked up on this raised platform, and you can see that surrounding it is like that oil sludge, but you're able to traverse that, kind of hop over top of it, and you can see that there's like pathways that kind of a ramp that kind of goes down or kind of get driven off. But you can see they're parked there. They don't like from a distance. They don't look to be of any major issue. Like you don't see them to be like, you don't see any major like destruction that has been done to them. But as you get close and you try to kind of figure out like how they function, like you try to kind of like toy around with some of the controls and things on them. You try to activate it, animate it in some way. They seem inert for some reason.
Yeah, I'd want to look at Malik. Ideally, Esme would be here. They're a bit more better at mending than I am. I mean, I have a little bit of a skill in it, but I'll take a look at it.
Okay. Malik, by the way, roll a d4 multiplied by 2. By the way, for your crit success, this action will go towards the extended task. And then Dante, you still have the pages, or at least Malik has the pages that has some of the techno babble. Like it's all torn apart and ripped and like created like a collage out of it. But you can get a knack on like repairing specific machinery and other things within the factory.
Okay. Yeah, like I'll take my time, kind of try to double check the manual and be like, does this even make sense? But yeah, I'll see what I can do to mend.
Okay. Yeah, so mend tech, you get a knack die as well.
Okay, so mend.
And someone got mend with something, right? I remember someone used an ability and got the mend skill. Who was that? Was that you, Mike? That might have been you, actually.
Well, I have a bit of a mend ability. Let's take a look at it.
Well, remember that you use...
You get the skill.
You use something like... What was it called? Custodian? You gain the
Custodian.
mend
So that was, for the population. And you and those who were the badge before you spent so much time rebuilding shattered lives and shattered homes that everyone welcomes you.
Yeah.
Gain the mend skill.
You've got the mend skill for as long as you're within this scene, it sounds... I mean, I think you just get it, actually, if it says...
No,
Yeah,
you just
you
have
the skill.
the mend skill, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All right, so I'll get the mastery or knack die. Malik, are you helping with technology?
Yeah, actually, I guess I could if I still have the domain for that.
Yeah.
Which is so weird. Malik is not.
And you said it was standard difficulty?
Yeah, standard sign.
Okay. Let's see what we get.
It's a success with an 8. Okay, roll a d4.
All right.
Because this also will kind of contribute to the extended task. Guys are rolling so well. All right.
Okay. Wait, no, I get it. This is where you put fuel, and that's like eating for a machine, and I understand eating.
Okay. So it carries fuel and uses fuel? Who would have known?
So as you guys crawl underneath these, like they're basically the size, like you would kind of look at these, like they're size of like semi trucks, like they're enormous. And I don't just mean like the front, I mean like the whole like 18-wheeler, like that's how big these things are. And like as you kind of mess around with and try to follow the schematics as best you can, it takes some time, and more than once you can see like those crawling half tar, half steel creatures kind of curiously kind of coming close, kind of watching you with a glowing face underneath the dripping tar. But you, at a certain point, you hear as the whatever powers this thing up seems to rev up, and once you do the one, it's much easier to do the second, and you're able to kind of get both of them going. So both of them seems functional.
All right. High five, Malik.
I played Dante.
Now,
yeah, go ahead.
where are those others?
Well, that's a good question. Let's cut over to Zenobe and Esme. So Zenobe, you went down into the Drowned Queen Sanctum. So
Yeah.
what's happening?
So you get down there and it's like underwater, but you can breathe just fine. Your little bees can fly around just fine. Like the water has the same like air resistance that everywhere else in the heart would have. If you would like to, you can meditate here and remove D6 from either Echo, Supplies, or Fortune.
Esme doesn't, Susan doesn't stop to do any of that. Susan walks directly towards you. What are you doing at this moment?
I don't actually need to meditate here. We were talking about resting, so I figured I'd open my door. So I'm just hanging out, floating around.
Yeah, so Susan walks up to you and says, "You fool.
What'd I do?
Nothing. That's the problem." Esme
What should I do?
Esme believes you are friends. You need to take advantage of that.
Okay. How?
You have
Wait,
named
who's Esme?
Esme is this body that carries us.
Oh, okay.
We are Zenobe.
We are Zenobe.
We are.
You're Zenobe?
We are. As Susan points directly to her chest, she says, "Deep inside, we all serve Zenobe."
We should form an alliance. We could make it to the final two.
Yes, we should. Yes, we should.
Here and Jen laugh in the back.
Yeah. Yes, we should. Esme has other plans, though.
Oh, she wouldn't.
She believes she can save us. We do not need saving.
Save you from what?
She believes we are prisoned by Zenobe. She does not know that our purpose is to further Zenobe's will.
What do you need me to do? Like kill Esme?
No, for you would kill us as well. Make her feel like you are friends. Treat her nice. Lull her.
It'd be easier to kill her.
It would be easier to kill her, but then you would lose our help.
Okay. So I need to be nice to Esme.
Correct.
And then what?
Get her to do things that will further Zenobe's will.
Like drown her?
If that is what must be done, but then you might kill us.
No, we can't kill Zenobe. Okay. So, what if I got like... Let me ask you this. How do I get you out of Esme?
We need time in order to take control of her completely. Just keep her submissive.
So, like, what if I drowned Esme so that she could be a part of Zenobe, and then you would be like Zenobe, but more Zenobe.
We already are Zenobe.
Yeah, but more Zenobe.
We wish for the same goals. We wish for Zenobe to be everywhere. At least what you have named Zenobe.
Okay, so Zenobe,
To put it in plain terms, we are the heart.
right, I got that you're Zenobe.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm unclear of is how we're getting rid of Esme.
I will get rid of Esme.
And you need me to be nice to her to do that.
Yes, so that you can trick her into doing things for you, because she is such a pathetic creature that she will do anything for anyone who's nice to her.
Do we do like a secret handshake now?
No, I think it's fairly obvious when we are in control.
I wouldn't mind a secret handshake.
Very well. As they form a secret handshake.
It's just a normal handshake.
Yeah. We must say this is not very secret. But Esme would probably do something ridiculous like hug you. So it will work.
Yeah. How long are you in control of Esme?
Only when she needs help. We are.
That seems like a lot.
We are trying to rebuild everything. We tear a piece of her body down. We replace it with wax. It takes time, but we are gaining control.
Okay, I got this.
Oh,
I can do this.
You totally can. You can totally do it. I believe in you.
Ah, shit. Hi, Esme.
Hi.
It's me, Zenobe, your friend.
Yeah, okay, you remembered. That's good. Whoa, what happened?
You drowned. But I saved you, so it's okay.
She breathes in and out like a couple times. She says, I don't feel like I drowned.
Yeah, drowning's pretty easy. It's not that complicated.
Well, look at me to muck something up that doesn't need to be mucked up, but that's all right. I have you.
Yeah. Yeah, you have me.
Where's
we should go
everybody
back
else?
upstairs now.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you two
lead her up the stairs.
Yeah, so you two start moving back upstairs. We'll go back upstairs, and inside of this this chapel. Chuck wasn't here. We'll say Lucius hung back and Zelina. Everyone went off in pairs. So Lucius and Zelina, you linger back, and Lucius, as you're waiting around, like this guy, this chaplain, is constantly avoiding eye contact with Zelina, constantly being very afraid. But you, however, you could see he's very interested in you, and at a few times he kind of looks over, and you see him kind of like turn like one of the lenses of his goggles, like he's like focusing, and he kind of waddles over towards you. Oh, I know a secret about you.
Well,
Yes.
don't let me stop you from sharing it.
Secrets are not free. Not free. No. Would
What
you
price?
like to make a donation? We are accepting donations of any kind.
At this point, Zelina, who's been listening through the nautical shell to, things, she's going to look up and provide a vial and say, here's secrets. Why do you need to pay for it? You can just have this.
I have one of those as well. But I was saving these secrets for something else. I'll tell you what, friend. I have this, and I'll pull out my Vermisian Mage's gear. Trade this. You will take this, and I will take your secret.
It has been some time since I have had such regal robes. Oh, yes, the fabric on the skin. Oh, yes. And he leans in very close. He stinks like oil. You feel like the roughness of his beard against your cheek as he gets nice and close to your ear.
So arousing.
He says, there is a ghost attached to you. Yes. That is not the secret.
Okay.
There it is. They mean you great harm. They are currently worming their way through your spirit, and they will take you over very shortly. You will not be yourself, you will instead be it, and it will be you, and you will be dead. But death is just another step.
Well, this is easy enough. I'll pull out my knife that Bob is possessing. I think his name is Bob.
It's Blobby. Hey, dude. What's up?
Blobby. So you
Hey, what's
intend
up,
me
dude?
great harm?
What are you talking about? We talking about we're friends. What do you mean?
You
Oh man,
intend
look at all these ghosts in here. Whoa, look at these. Look, a bunch of
I know
stiffs.
it's like a homecoming for you.
No,
You intend me
this
great
ain't my
harm.
scene. Me? What? Psh, buddy, come on. We go back like so far. What are you talking about?
Very well. I am going to use let's see. Oh my gosh, my liar's burden ability.
Okay.
And I will roll a discern in religion.
Okay.
And if Bobby is lying to me, he's going to take D4 stress, as I guess ghost blood will start streaming out of his mouth.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll it. Ghost blood.
Ghost blood.
Ectoplasmic resin.
Oh no.
Spurting out of his ears. Every orifice.
I think I need to refresh maybe. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? This is dumb. I'm going to roll
Physical dice?
my
dude.
fancy physical dice.
Come on, dude. What's wrong with you? You've got you
Dude.
got him. Come on.
So it'll be 3.
Where'd you
Dude,
get
you don't-
those dice at, Chuck?
I
know
got
how to
them from a techno Star Wars Viking at Gen Con from Norse Foundry. I got a 9, a 3, and a 2. What does that mean?
It's standard difficulty, so the 9 is a success, straight up success, no problem cost.
Okay.
Like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you doing? And you see just like vomit, like of blood, of ghost blood, just comes hurtling out like this specter's mouth. And you're like, dude, what are you doing, man? As he just kind of continues to sort of vomit. Roll that D4.
Yeah. It's a 1.
Okay. Okay. Say, oh, God. Dude, stop it. Come on now. That's totally rude. My God.
Well,
You just met this guy. Why you freaking believing him over me? I've known you for like a week or two now. You feel like I've had so many opportunities. So many opportunities. Like, no, seriously, so many opportunities. You all don't take care of yourselves.
what is your
Trying to hurt-
intention?
What's my intention? Oh, dude, nah, I'm hitching a ride. You know, you do me a favor, I do you a favor. You know, when you're sleeping, when you're resting, I'm looking out for you. We're friends, we're pals. Come on. You know, lots of crazy things happen around here, you know. And if I, make sure I I gotta make a place for me. You know, I can't just like float around all the time. It's so much easier to just sort of float around inside you, you know. Yeah.
So you need to be bound to something living, correct?
Of course not. What do you? Is he gonna vomit again?
Uh-huh,
No. That's a rumor. No, that's not true. No, I'm not one of those types of ghosts. No. I can, I just float free. I'm like, I'm like a snot bubble. I just kind of float around, go where I want. You know how it is.
Very well. I'll take care of this now. I'm gonna go ahead and do.
We're gonna take this dude down. Okay, man, let's go. We can rough him up. Come on.
No, that's definitely not. I'm gonna take my shoe off,
Okay.
and I put my foot up on one of these pews.
Okay.
Then I take my knife out.
This is interesting. What are you
I'm gonna-
doing?
I'm gonna do a sacred meat tree ritual, and invoke my unorthodox methods. And I'm going to lop off one of my toes and bind him to the toe.
God, dude, come on, man. What are you doing? Okay.
So this is an auto 6, and I take stress from it because I think it fits.
Okay. You're bind him to your toe. Okay. All right. So, all right. Roll it. I mean, does it? I mean, we're on tier 2s, D6. So it'd be a D6 if there's nothing written in the ability. So it'd be a D6 die for stress. Yeah. Which toe is it?
Ooh, it's only a 1.
Okay. All right. So you take 1 point of blood, and then roll a D12 while you're at it. Compare it to your. See if you may take any fallout from that.
Okay. I got 2 blood protection, so I'm good there. And a
Oh,
D12.
so you don't even take any. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 4, and I've got 2 blood stress currently, so I'm
You're good.
Gucci.
Okay.
Yeah, so I say the holy rituals and By this toe, take my burden like you have through life. May the meat tree. Yeah, fuck off, ghost.
And you see, like, dude, come on, we're for he just starts to like kind of like shift down, like swirl down, become lesser and lesser. You see him just sort of like the ectoplasmic blue bubble just starts to grind underneath this raunchy, gross toenail that you just cut off, like it's seaming into it. And then after a moment, you don't hear him anymore. Bobby is no longer there. You see the toe just sort of rock a bit and then come to a stop. And at that moment, all this like information starts flooding back into your brain. Like all this knowledge and stuff that you've accrued, like the like things that you've picked up along the way, like observations you've seen that he's sort of stolen, or insights that you've gleaned from looking at these different machines and these different delves, like all this Vermissian things that you would have, as a heretic, you would have sort of been able to piece together some of the religious context of it all. All of it starts coming back as if there was some kind of block somewhere in your brain preventing you from gaining that info.
Very well. Zelina, I have a toe with a ghost in it.
I see. I could have helped you with the toe.
It's more fun this way. Malik will get a kick out of it.
I'm sure he will. Hey, you should listen to this nautical shell I got. It's got voices in it.
Sure.
Yeah.
What are the voices saying, Jen?
I don't know. It's like something about bees and Esme, and I'm not sure. Can you make sense of it? Here, listen.
I'll
You're
listen.
still talking.
I'll listen.
You hear something about a secret handshake.
Yeah, there's something about some sort of secret handshake. Something about like if we team up together, like we can be the final survivors.
An alliance.
An alliance is being formed. You definitely get the sense there's some sort of weird, shady dealings happening, betrayals. The specifics of which is hard to get out. Like you're listening through a shell, so it's probably not the best reception, but you're getting some of them.
Well, I can clearly make out Zenobe's voice, so I've no doubt that it is absolutely no good.
Oh,
Very
as
well.
usual. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was busy cutting my toe off. Where have the others gone to?
And with that, the camera cuts, and we are back to Dante and Malik, who have been working and actually have made these automaton thingies, these huge sort of massive armadillo semis. They're running, and all of a sudden, Dante, as this is happening, as you're watching, kind of admiring some of your work and kind of talking about this and that, you see like a swarm of those strange, like tar-covered steel creatures kind of swoop down, and while you're not really paying attention, they just like kind of swarm around you, and they snatch one of your guns. Another one swoops past and kind of grabs something else, and you see they just kind of go leaping and hopping and start crawling up one of these sort of tall smokestacks that are billowing out the exhaust up into the sky. You are muted, sir.
Yeah, I realized that. I'm going to stare them down. With it's an ability I have. It's a ranged D6 kill.
Okay.
To where my stare, hound stare, and even works on things that normally shouldn't be scared of me. That's how scary it is. But yeah, I'm just gonna be like, return that, suffer the consequences. You don't steal from the hounds.
All right, so is it a roll? Or are you rolling a
yeah, it'd be
skill?
a kill. It'll be a kill skull roll.
Tech is fine. I would also take cursed for domain.
Okay, I mean it's the same either way. Let's see here. There you go.
Okay, so you shout out, you kind of scrunch up your face. However, like this mean mug that kind of comes over it, your voice kind of echoes throughout. You see, like as you shout, like these plumes of like that liquid fire erupt, almost like perfect unison with this shout that happens. One of the two that snatch some of your gear kind of turns. You see like that weird kind of orb underneath the dripping tar like lights up as it looks at you, and then completely darkens, and then you watch as it falls down and just splashes into the tar. The other one continues to scramble up, and you see it is just climbing up this sort of really tall kind of stack. You will take D6. Take 3 points of supplies stress as they have stolen a piece of vital gear from you.
Oh, okay. And then
9 on the D12 on the fallout check.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is what I'm at on supply damage.
Good to go.
All right, and then I do a D6 kill, so that'd be 5.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that would have been that's plenty with these. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just but yeah. So I'm staring it down, and I look at the other one. Gonna have to go up there and get that. So is there like a staircase that spirals around this thing, or do I have to climb up as well?
Yeah, you do see. What'd you say, Malik? You see Malik.
I have the wall crawl thing.
Oh yeah, he starts to climb up the wall. But
Can I jump on your back? I swear that I wear pants.
Okay.
Okay. And strangely enough, Dante is just like extraordinarily dry. It's like the complete opposite of Zenobe. Yeah. Very absorbent of your own like neck sweats, whatever it is, Malik. But he hops on your back, and the two of you just start climbing up to the top of this thing. And you see, as you get up to the top of this ridge, like this poisonous smoke, you coughing and coughing. And this thing doesn't even notice it. You hear like this loud, like it's almost as this poisonous smoke comes up, this billowing cloud. It's noisy up here, and this thing is kind of crouched down. Its kind of knees bent in this sort of awkward way. Its arms kind of angrily dripping tar behind it, and you can see it sort of messing around with your gun. It's kind of like looking as if it's doing some sort of sniper thing, but it's holding it wrong. It's very curious about it. What do you want to do?
What I'm going to do is grab the gun and say, it looks like the stack is decked against you, or the deck is stacked against you, whatever. And I kick him off the top of...
Okay. Roll another kill tech, and I'll say you can take an assist die as Malik is up here giving you sort of a hand.
I'll do the thing where like I get behind him so he's got something to kind of trip over.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice. Very nice.
All right. Oh God, I rolled so bad.
Okay, so this is what's gonna happen. You go up. You go to kick him. You reach your foot out and you kick into him, but you realize even though like the force of the kick, he doesn't notice it happen. Your foot sticks to that sort of tar substance, and you go tumbling over with him. As you're just Malik, you watch him go. As it just happens all at once. Let's go ahead and roll. Do a D6 on this. Oh goodness. Take 4 points of stress. We'll call this blood stress. As you land, fortunately you land in like that like watery sewage below, but you get a special fallout here. If you get fallout, let's see if you get it.
I only got 2, so we'll see.
Okay.
You got to roll up, bud. I believe in you.
Roll to 4.
That's good.
Okay. So no fallout for you. You're good.
No fallout, unfortunately.
Okay.
Compare it to total stress.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I have 2 protection, and I took 4, so that's only 2 actual stress.
Okay, and you were clear bar to that.
It was clear. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You land and you sink, and you can feel like this is not like water. This stuff is viscous, and it's like pulling you down. At some point you kind of scramble up, and You quickly grab onto whatever. There's like some sort of piece of debris that you crawl up on top of. You're coated now in this gross tar. It's burning away at your skin. You can feel it itching you. But you realize if you would have spent even just a tiny bit more time in there, you might have been kind of dragged down and drowning and caught beneath that. Anyone kind of getting caught up in this would have like a special potential fallout of drowning and then suffocation and then eventual like critical fallout of turning into one of these creatures actually.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that didn't happen to me, but that's cool. If it happens to someone else, Zenobe.
I mean,
But you can't drown
drowning-
anyway, right?
True, I can't.
So you'd be fine.
I can't suffocate at all. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I could be stuck there forever, but
Yes, that's probably what it would be. Which would be an even worse fate, possibly. I don't know.
yeah.
Just Pirate of your Carabines your way out of it, or a T800.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so we'll say Malik, you kind of Spider-Man your way back down, meet up with Dante. You avoid some of these other pitchkins. You get back to the automatons that you have. At this point, Esme, Zenobe, you emerge from the staircase that went down to the Drowned Queen's domain. You see Lucius is playing with a toe. Zelina is listening in to a shell. What's next?
Zelina's
The
giving
puddle
them the
dries
evil
up.
eye, of course.
Of course.
As Zenobe comes out last, the puddle just kind of like soaks into his hat. So there's just a few drops on the floor there. Oh, a toe! Are you gonna eat that?
Not currently. It is possessed by a ghost that we may need to question later, so I'm going to keep it for now.
Should have let him eat it.
Hey, Zelina, what's wrong? Esme says to Zelina.
Final two, huh? Special handshake, huh?
What?
Only I do
Zenobe is
special
just-
handshakes.
Only you do? Okay. Do we have a special handshake? Oh, shit.
So busy with Zenobe.
Huh?
So busy with Zenobe. We could have had a special handshake.
Oh, we can have a special handshake. Zenobe, do we have a special
have
handshake?
no idea what she's talking about.
I'm really confused, and I think that we need to talk about it, but probably not right now because there's a toe.
And you hear like you guys are still in the chaplain's domain. He's like trying to do a service here. If you could step outside till we finish, please. Infinity shall not enlighten itself. We must enlighten the others with infinity.
Sorry, as Esme steps outside.
Curious.
I'll
That
follow.
one's new.
I'll go up
Okay.
too.
And before you
I'll
leave,
follow
Zelina-
Zenobe.
Which? One moment.
Yes.
One moment. You are not the first of your kind to come here. No, others. I have something for you. Only if you promise not to harm my flock. We are not responsible. We did nothing. She was merely searching for something. She would not share what. We gave her shelter. We gave her supplies. And we gave her space. But the sewage took her. Perhaps you would want to reclaim her? Yes?
Yes. I'd like to reclaim her.
And he looks over to like one of his ghosts. Well, go fetch her. Yes, you go. But I must do this myself again, as always. Flux, very difficult to get to do anything useful. One moment. And you see it like wanders off to a different side of the room. And there's like this big old trunk that he kind of opens up, and he starts pulling something that's wrapped up in tar, or in a tarp, and he kind of throws it over his shoulder. Kind of moves it, drops it down in front of you. It's small. It's maybe about 4 feet in length. He carefully unwraps it, and you see this sort of contorted body of, you can tell it's not, you can tell it's humanoid, but you would recognize as a witch. Everyone's got like their own bestial, special, like actual forms. Like they're all a little different here and there, but you would tell that likely he specifically referenced this as a witch, and this is likely a woman at some point, someone like you, who went and tried to go into her special form here, her true form. But she is now kind of encased, almost fossilized in some way, within this hardened, blackened tar and sewage. Yeah, we did not harm her. We thought perhaps maybe we might cut here, cut there, find something of use. But no, that would be disrespectful. No. But we know the blood is sacred. And so we provide her to you now.
Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and just like delicately pick her up and then just take her outside so he can have his space.
Thank you. And you can hear as you close the door, like he just goes back into his sermon on infinity, and the ghost just kind of still sitting there in this droning position. Anything you want to do with her?
I'd like to, once I get outside, put her back down and try to examine her a little bit further and see if I can figure out who she was.
Yeah, go ahead and roll discern and I'd also take a mend in this case, because if you're doing kind of like either discern or mend, whichever might work for you, in occult. Because it's a witch.
Ooh, what you got there?
Is there a way I could go ahead and use my unorthodox methods to make it roll and resolve as a result of 6?
Of course, yeah, that's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, so you take out some of your, you have like a small probably pack that you carry with you, different supplies, things like that, and you start to like cut into like this sort of tar encasing. It's hardened, but at the same time, once you cut through it enough, you feel it malleable in a way that allows you to start piecing it apart. It's almost like a very, very thick latex suit that you begin to sort of uncase. You see like this angled, strange arm that's sort of in a bestial form. You kind of pop that out. But as you're cutting through, a 6 is success with cost. You notice that like your equipment seems to be breaking, and as you try to cut through some of the pieces of this coat, you realize that like there's other things that are caught up within the tar, and so like one blade breaks, and then another blade breaks, and then another blade breaks, and so you're constantly pulling out these like kind of different blades, or maybe Esme is like lending aid. So go ahead and take 2 points of supply stress, and what is your total amount of stress that you currently have? Just the 2?
For supplies, just 2.
Okay. All right, you're good to go. But as you kind of uncover, you see her, and she's got like, you can tell that there's some sort of, not runes, but markings, tattoos here and there, some of which are kind of older witches. Witches have ages that are kind of difficult to discern at times, but some of them are familiar. And I'm not sure when the last time you've been to Hallow was. Hallow is sort of it's another area of Heart where the witches sort of congregate. But you would recognize her as like one of the elders of a very powerful coven that is a sort of kind of in the political sway of that town, a woman by the name of Emilda. And so I would say you would probably know there has been infighting amongst, like in fractionalization of some of the witches' covens, kind of sort of jockeying somewhat for power and such, and here and there. And she was at one point kind of powerful, and somehow she's found her way here, and you now have her body.
Well, Imelda, what you were once whole, you are now lost. Zelina is going to try to make a makeshift like way of carrying her so that she can be like across my back, but I can have my hands free.
Okay.
So I'm
What
just
I-
gonna like dig through my bags and find some supplies that I can put together to kind of harness her on my back.
Yeah, so one of the things you can do in this game is you can volunteer to take sort of supplies stress to sort of say that like supplies is like equipment that you don't have necessarily described. And so that kind of sounds like what you're doing. So I'd say roll a d6 as you're kind of repurposing, restructuring, breaking, shifting, moving things around, trying to shift and change and make your things work here. But in doing so, it's by repurposing them in some way or also making them somehow not as effective. All right, so take 1 point of supply stress. And with a 1, that's under, I think, because you have 3. So take a minor supply fallout.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I know. I was trying to help you out there. So yeah, we'll just say. Do you have any resources on you right now?
Yes, I do. I have occult beacon crystals, some cyber optic, Freddy Krueger claws, wild resources, the vials,
Okay.
mage gear.
Pick one of those and reduce their die size by one step. And so
Okay.
we'll just say you took damage. So one of them just got damaged in the process. You still have it. It's just not as much as before.
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay. So, we'll say, just for the sake of moving things along, you all manage to, one by one, kind of find your way towards Malik and Dante, or Dante and Malik, after Dante's fall, come and find you. They show you these automatons, these huge, like, armadillo trucks ready to go. In terms of the extended test, you haven't actually finished it. You still don't have supplies, the supplies themselves loaded in a way that would be useful. So you're very close to finishing it, but essentially you're still looking for transportable stuff. So it could be, so if someone wants to discern and search for it, if someone has some other thing that they can think of that might allow you to sort of discover things that would be more transportable, barrels or some kind, stuff like that.
Yes, like Dante will walk up, like dripping with all that stuff. Like he'll stand outside of the temple, but he's like, I think we found the way to get it back. Did you guys happen to find anything useful?
I have a toe with a ghost in it.
Like one of those ghosts, as I point inside.
Kinda. A little bit. His name was Bobby. And he was bound to me for a while. Anyway, but no, I did not find anything useful, but I can look now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to dry out here because I'm not really good at discerning things. But yeah, if you guys could get that taken care of, that'd be great.
Did you need some help?
I mean, it's just gonna be a bunch of muck, so it's fine.
No, you said you weren't that good at discernment, so
Right? Yeah.
Esme, if you want to give me a hand while I look around.
Yeah.
what are we looking for?
We're looking for Spire Black.
Oh, good. I'm sure we could find it.
There's plenty around. It's just a matter of finding something, some that are in transportable shape. So yeah, discern tech is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have tech, so I'm gonna roll 2 and then
I'd also take. Hang on. There's a second one here. I would take. Where is I doing? I would take cursed as well.
It's okay,
I do have
sweetie.
cursed.
I understand technology.
Okay. Well, then that'll be 4 dice, which is more d10s than I have. First 2 is a 7 and a 2.
7 is a success with cost, I think.
And then 1 and a 9.
A 9 is a success with. It's just a straight success. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, go ahead and roll a d4.
Another 1.
Oh man, you find as the two of you are exploring around a bit, you find a warehouse, another structure beyond some of this billowing smoke here and there. You see that massive, like gargantuan creature, like almost like creating waves as it slowly comes to the surface and then sort of dips back down. You wait for it to drift away. You quickly like scurry across what looks like a bunch of floating debris, leaping from trying not to disturb the surface too much. And eventually you find this rusted sort of blue metal structure, like that's embedded into the wall of this cavern. You both pull open these screeching, kind of rusted, massive barn-like doors, and you see inside stacks and stacks and stacks of Spire Black barrels. There have to be thousands within here.
Well, Esme, I would call this a success.
Would you? Okay, I would call it amazing. We did it.
Esme, you are quite cheerful.
Well, yeah, I mean, who wants to be sad?
True. Certainly, we have enough
Zenobe.
of that with Zenobe.
Oh, well, he's just forgetful, and he forgets that he can be happy, and he forgets that sometimes he has friends. And so sometimes we just need to remind him, and then everything's okay.
Very well. Let's go let them know that we found a supply.
So speaking of Zenobe, as you watch them go off and tiptoe across this debris floating on the water, you watch this thing sort of bask and move. You see like the smoke kind of part at some point in a familiar way. Like you remember like sleeping in the night before that, like sort of like this smoke kind of drift. Maybe it was smoke, maybe it was fog, maybe it was water. It's hard to say, but there was just sort of the way the pattern shifts in it. And as that stuff parts across you, something emerges from behind it. What is it, Zenobe, that you see that, let's say, you've been dreaming about for several days now?
It is a drowned and dead Lucius.
Okay. And you see, like, coming almost in sort of a mirrored direction. Like, I'm not sure if anyone else can see it right now, but you see, like, it's got a sort of, the hair is matted down a bit, it's dripping here and there. Can't tell from this distance whether it's water or if it's this tar. It's hard to say, but you can tell massive discoloration to the face, and it's just walking towards you, just as living Lucius and Esmer are kind of walking towards you as well, and they're both kind of coming from these slightly parallel angles, like coming right in your direction.
Lucius, you finally met her? And then I see Lucius. Which one of you is Lucius?
So the one that looks drowned opens its mouth to speak, and you see it, and it kind of pours out a bit of salt water, just sort of some kind of eel begins to like weave on out, kind of perch up on its shoulder, and you hear a voice come out, but it's not from the mouth of Lucius, but it's from the mouth of this eel. I am Lucius. Of course I am.
You've been blessed by the drowned goddess. Ha!
Oh,
Finally.
yes. I have seen. I have gained enlightenment. This one here, and you watch like the head of drowned Lucius shift, but not the eel perched on its shoulder. This one is imposter. Must be done away with, she says. No more impostors shall walk amongst Zenobe.
How many imposters are there?
Countless. So countless. This, of course, is your calling. The drowned queen wants this of you, Zenobe.
My eyes immediately flashed as me.
Hi.
Lucius, you heard him say that, by the way. You heard Zenobe. None of you see this other Lucius. Yeah. And so, but you all can hear Zenobe's side of the conversation.
Yeah, when Zenobe looks at Esme, she'll just, hi.
Zenobe. The hell, man.
Do you or do you not worship the drowned queen?
I do not.
Imposter.
I've never worshipped the drowned queen. That's your thing.
To think I thought you finally saw.
What's happening?
I think Zenobe's finally gone a little too waterlogged in the brain.
Esme, we're best friends, right?
Yeah.
Like the bestest of friends, right?
Yes.
So you can trust me when I tell you Lucius is lying to you.
Lucius, are you lying to me?
I am not.
See, he says he's not.
Exactly what a liar would say.
Oh.
I can swear to you on the meat tree. It's holy foliage.
Yeah,
the meat tree's not holy. It's
But
a tree.
That's where we get our blood.
I can get you blood. You need blood. I'll get you lots of blood.
Oh no, you don't want to do that. Then we could only make so much blood come from that.
Do I still see this other Lucius?
This whole time it's been getting closer and closer to you, and now it's standing shoulder to shoulder. And that eel that had come out of Lucius's mouth now starts to sort of slither and crawl on top of your shoulders. And you see it just sort of coil, like you can feel it, the kind of the dampness of it, just like coiling around your neck. And it's kind of whispering in your ear.
I'll give it some gentle rubs and scratches, you know, not actually touching my own neck, just, you know, rubbing the air.
And you
What
hear
you
the
got
sound,
there?
You hear the sound of a splash, and you look back, and the other Lucius just is fallen now down into the sort of that liquidy residue of the spire black, and it's just sort of floating there in on top of it, like slowly sinking. And the rest of you actually see the splash as well, but you don't see the body.
Well, at least you've been reclaimed for the drowned queen, the real you.
Zenobe, what was that happened to the water?
I don't talk to imposters.
Okay, more peace for me, and I'll go about my business.
Okay. So,
Esme, you keep an eye on that one.
Oh, yes, he's my buddy. And Esme goes,
No, your buddy was just claimed by the drowned queen. He's the imposter.
oh. Well, I will keep a strict eye on him.
Yes, I know you will.
And so Esme walks over to where Lucius is and just kind of places her hand on his back and says, "Are you okay?" I'm supposed to be watching you, mister.
Muted, Chuck.
My foot's a bit sore from cutting off my own toe, but
We should take a look at that. Yeah.
we can do that later.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Other than that, I've managed to banish the ghost that was possessing me.
Oh,
We found our Spire Black.
we did. Yes, we did. Everyone, we found Spire Black. It's over there.
The warehouse of it.
Oh, that's great. So now we just got to get that into the vehicles and then find a way for the vehicles to get out of here.
Okay, well, where are the vehicles?
They're over this way.
Okay. So
They're both Dante and Alec pointed different directions.
We suddenly cut to a montage of you all with the painstaking labor of like 1 by 1, 2 by 2, literally hours and hours, perhaps even days of kind of unloading this, spending time and like resting at the chaplain's place or somewhere else, like down in the Drowned Green's domain. But eventually you all literally load up hundreds of barrels, perhaps 1,000 or more barrels of these heavy, thick metal onto the backs of these armadillo trucks. At a certain point, as you're kind of coming and going, Malik, the chaplain comes over to you and he says, "Friend Malik, I am tethered here. I am tethered here. But you are free. You are unmoored. You can visit the false maker. You, please, can take sacrament from cruel sadness. You can see the vision of infinity, where the spire pierces the heart. And you can gain the knowledge that I have not yet gotten access to. No, my path is slower, but yours, please. If not for yourself, for me, your friend. Will you do this? You will, friend Malik.
Yes, I would do this for you.
I should warn you. There are pretenders there. Others. With a spire, inverted so it be, pierces the heart itself. Those of righteousness to the spiral of bone, as it curls to infinity. Others see falsehoods, and they will threaten all those who are there. But you must take the sacrament. You must expose the bone so that when infinity comes, it recognizes that. Who share in the wisdom that it can provide. Will you do this? Will you join us? Will you take the sacrament?
I will do so and lay the bone bare. Thank you for your wisdom, Brother Lord.
First, I must mark you, so that they know you come as friend. May I do this? I should warn you. Pain is a certainty.
I'm not a
Great
stranger to it.
It is great pain. You will look. And he kind of turns to show you his back. You will look like me. Do you accept this?
It is only flesh.
Yes. There's great wisdom in your friend Malik. It is only flesh. Flesh is righteous. That is certain. But flesh clings to bone, and it is bone, which is infinity. And so, in the midst of this sort of montage, he brings you and he leads you to a section of the factory, apart from others. You can see two of those like ghosts kind of come along, like attendants with him. They don't say anything, they don't do anything, they just sort of float around with this like solemn reverence. And he performs this like sacrament on you, which is part religious ritual, part surgery. And it is excruciatingly painful. You are given nothing to anesthetize yourself from this. As he cuts into the fur of your back, Malik, kind of peels it away, rips it out from the roots, cuts into the skin. You can feel like his hands, you're not even sure if he cleaned anything, like reach down and just pull. And these metal stints he just shoves to allow this like protrusion of the vertebra to come out and expose itself. The rest of you, would Malik scream? Like, do you think Malik would scream in pain, or is Malik sturdy enough? We could always roll for it. There is an endure. It's up to you, though, Jeremy.
I think he would try to pray to make his way through it, but I don't know if that's enough.
Okay, let's go roll endure, and we'll say, since you're praying, roll religion.
I have both of those. Endure and religion.
Oh my
Critical
gosh.
success.
The critical successes are insane. Okay, do you have any like resistance or anything, or excuse me, any stress or anything on you right now, or fallouts or something like that?
I do. I have a ton of stress on me right now.
Okay. Pick, I would say, how much do you have in anything but, I would say anything but supplies or fortune. What are the other three like? Which one's the highest?
Blood.
Okay. At some point you probably lose consciousness. You don't scream. But when you awake, you feel like invigorated. Like you feel like there's pain that lingers, but it's like back behind somewhere. It's like in the distant memory of pain. It's not on the surface. It's there. It's dulled. You're aware of it, but not bothered by it.
Mm.
And you feel a vitality in you, like coursing through your bones. You feel a sturdiness to yourself. You kind of smack on your forearms here and there, and you just feel like the strength of it, like Wolverine after he has the surgery with the adamantine graphite, grafting. It's kind of that moment where everything just feels stronger. You catch a sight of yourself and like a reflection of like a glass panel or a metal panel that hasn't been covered in grime, and kind of turn and you can see the same sort of exposure of the spine is there. Like resting nearby, you see the chaplain kind of wake up as you're like, "Oh, friend Malik, you are no longer friend. You are brother Malik now. Welcome, brother. On the path to infinity. The true path."
Thank you, Brother Lord. This was enlightening.
Indeed. Indeed. Time extends in many ways. But knowledge comes in the spiral, and you will see it. I guarantee it. You are special, brother. You are so very close to clarity. I envy you.
Excuse me.
Begin. Malik's been missing for like most of the day. Everyone else is doing all like the heavy labor. You kind of go looking for him.
Yeah.
You find him now. Yeah.
Excuse me. I think we're about ready to go, but I have to ask you about something. As she looks at I forget his name, but the guy who talks about infinity, the main NPC we've been talking.
Chaplain Lloyd.
Chaplain Lloyd, yeah. She's like, earlier you were talking about something like laying the bone bare. And I have been having this weirdest, strangest sense of like memory loss or something. I don't understand it. But you're talking about laying the bone bare, and I have this on me, and I felt like I should show you as she pulls out the bone residue that Susan took from him and
Oh my.
like just shows him. Yeah. I don't know how I came upon this. I don't know what happened, but you said lay the bone bare, so surely it's a sign, right?
There was a thief. I knew it. Brother Malik, I do not fault you for this. You travel amongst a large party, and there are false god worshippers amongst you. One of them took this secret from me, but you have returned it. I thank you.
Yes. Yeah, sure. I really don't know how I got it. Like, I've been having some issues. But it'll be okay. I will see some help about it. We'll get it taken care of. It'll be all right. But yeah, I just found this in my pocket, and so yeah, thought I should bring it to you.
Brother, is this one prepared to take the sacrament? Is he... Excuse me, is she worthy?
I can certainly say that Esme is extremely worthy, but it would still be her choice.
Oh, that sacrament?
It is a great honor.
I mean, it's different with me. Like, here, watch this. As she like takes like a knife she carries on her, and she just like cuts her skin open, and then the bees start to form it together again. She's like, I don't think it would work the same.
An apiarist.
Yeah, they're like, they run a tight ship. They don't let me really change much.
It is a hive connection. Memory. Thought.
Yeah.
Shared amongst several.
Yeah.
But true thought is always shared. Privacy. There is none. One's thoughts are never one's own.
Oh, no, I haven't had a moment of privacy in years.
Such a pity. I will say this then. If you wish not to take the sacrament, you should be rewarded for your honesty. For the return of that which is sacred to me. I shall gift something sacred of myself to you. Something that would help you. Not with your memory, but perhaps with your sight. Here.
And you see he like reaches up and he takes those like grimy goggles off. Sort of like this sort of steampunky lens. You can see one of them sort of covered.
Take this.
Oh, cool. What's it do?
It will help you see.
In
a way, ocular, singular, monocular. You are used to seeing through the eyes of many. This will help you focus and discern from one.
And you can tell as you put it on, like you get this laser focus and you get this sort of weird HUD kind of comes up and you start messing around and kind of twisting and turning. You can see all these different kind of readings. But yeah, you can put these goggles in your inventory. I'll give you the full write-up later. I didn't put them in as an item.
Sure.
Yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I took that resource out of my inventory.
Yeah. Okay. And you can put that as a piece of equipment. So, and it's basically, it would give you discern or it would give you a knack if you already have discern. Okay.
So, do these vehicles that we've fixed have horns? Because I feel like Dante would be outside like honking the horn.
Okay.
I thought you were talking like bull horns on like the cattle guard.
You can see that the surface kind of gets disturbed. A lot of the pitchkins start to scatter in different ways. But yeah, all of you hear the sound of the horn from Dante. Okay. So we'll say, just sort of to wrap it up, You all kind of meet up, load onto these vehicles. Do you just try to journey back relatively the way you came? To try to return this as quickly as possible?
Yeah, I would think so.
Well,
Speed
thought-
does seem to be an issue.
Yeah, because I thought we had said something to the witches that we wouldn't go back the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had warned us about doing so.
Mm-hmm.
So like Dante would be like, I think as much as I'd love to go back the same way, I think we need to find a bypass around them at least. But I mean, whatever way, I mean, no sleep till Dimitri, right? So we're in it for the long haul, guys.
We'll
I would
say this
trust in your wisdom.
just to sort of to get you back a little quicker, because you made connections, I think, in most of the delves along
We
the
did.
ways.
Yeah, we
So
did.
it would be relatively quick, and we don't necessarily need to belabor the point.
Okay.
But how about we do this? How about give me one sort of delve roll. You can do it, Dante, if you want. Give me a delve
Okay.
roll to sort of find an alternative path, circumventing that part where the witches are.
All right. Everyone's helping, right?
Zenobe will help.
Yes.
Oh, great.
Oh, not if Lucius is helping.
Yep,
Too bad. You
Definitely.
said
Yes, we will.
yes. I think pretty much all of us have delve, don't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Zelina, do you have delve? I can't remember.
No, I do not.
Okay, so no help from Zelina then. We're gonna
As
make one
usual.
giant roll to rule them all. And that's a whole lot of zeros.
Oh gosh. Okay. We'll say
Ooh.
you yes, you do. I mean, like, you remember Terminus had all those crazy
Yeah.
wild tunnels and stuff. Like, we'll say as a sort of montage it, like, you spend probably several days trying to find alternative routes. You get kind of lost to some degree in terms of like the physical space, but also in terms of time.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually you find alternative routes, and along the way you do kind of skirt past and you learn of kind of these other routes, and that Terminus itself kind of, there's all sorts of branching paths that come out from it. Some of you have learned about different locations and landmarks kind of pops up along the way. Dante, you kind of sort of, whether it's from witches or some of the sort of the concrete golems or some other travelers, you learn of like different ways and routes to get to the bunker. Like Jeremy as Malik, you kind of hear more and more about like the false Mecca. So you kind of have, again, on this long journey back, you kind of pick up little bits of information about where you might be able to track down some of these other places. But we'll say eventually you do return to the Bleeding Hollow, which is much darker and much less populated than when you left it. But the details of which we will save for next time, as we'll say you have in fact finally returned with supplies in hand, and we will continue in, I guess, 2 weeks. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds amazing.
Would you
so-
say that I have saved a haven from
Yes.
destruction or doom at this point?
Yes, that's why I heard
Thank
it. I'm like, you've been sitting on this thing for
God.
a while. I want you to get it. Yeah. Okay. So going through the beats that I had, if anyone changed anything, let me know. Dante, you kicked someone from a tall structure.
It just happened to be
and-
me.
Yeah.
I totally deserved it.
Yeah.
Not the
And
person you
you
wanted.
kicked yourself. Yeah. And you got your haven from destruction. Esme, I wasn't really sure which did you have? I wasn't really sure.
I had communicate with something of the heart and find a heart touch sapling on a delve and bring it back to a haven for planting.
And you did previous session find it, and now we have returned to the to the haven, so we'll say that one can be completed. I think that's fair.
Yeah, communicates with something of the heart. I don't know if I did or not. You'd have to tell me that.
I mean, let's see. Trying to think of who you communicated with. You're in the Drowned Queen's domain. And if you want to make a case for something, I mean, I'm always open. It doesn't take much for me to say yes. So I don't know, think about it. And if you think there's something with what Esme did tonight that satisfies that, I'm most likely going to say yes. And everyone else, This isn't even actually up to me, by the way. Like, this is really kind of up to you all and us, like whether or not you did it. It's not necessarily the GM final call on this.
Yeah, I finished my Zenith ability actually.
Then you're dead. Sweet. No one has to worry about Zenobe anymore.
Bye.
Lucius, did you sell or sacrifice a D8 or higher resource to secure a secret?
Yep.
Did you
I
kill
got
someone
both of
trying to?
mine.
Yeah. Did you kill someone trying to prevent you from gaining knowledge?
Kills. I would say yes, because
Close
I did
enough.
bind them to a toe. Yeah.
You're stuck at a toe, and they were stealing your knowledge over time.
Yeah.
Malik, you did assist a member of your order, and then later on, towards the end, you did take the sacrament, which he did beg you to perform, and refusing would be disgraceful. So I think you got yours done. Selena, I think you got you dissected this sort of witch encased form, and then you also took minor supply fallout. So it worked out pretty well. I think you got both of yours, and I think that's everybody, right? That's everyone.
Nice.
Zenobe, did you sacrifice someone important to the heart?
No, I tried to, but Esme said no.
No, but you got the something of the dreams in the real world. So you got the second one at least.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, why don't we do a closing round table and we get the hell out of here. We'll end on Adam, but we'll start on Chuck. Chuck, what are the defenders doing?
Oh, that's me. Defenders of Cobalt on Wednesday. We'll be back to Thunder Rift. On Thursday, we'll be doing our Tales from the Loop game, Through the Hedgerows. Friday, we'll be doing more DCC, our Dead Sun campaign. And then next Saturday, Goodman Games doing some Weird Frontiers.
Very nice.
I got an adventure too. If people should buy it and make me feel better about myself, called The Kids Aren't All Right for Zweihander RPG. It was the adventure that we were running for Gen Con. It's fantastic. And it's got, Adam beat me to it, and he's got a better link.
Yeah, that one gets us affiliate revenue.
Oh, well, I don't know how to delete mine. Click on Adam's link and not mine.
Two thumbs and a toe up.
There you go. Yeah.
2 thumbs and a toe. Awesome. Mike, you got anything?
No, I mean, after Gen Con, I don't want to do anything for a while.
Yeah,
But I mean, I'll probably do Mechanics Mondays. But besides that, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Hidden behind that image there on the screen is Jen. Jen, do you have anything you want to plug?
Heyo. So we have a game that we've been running on Tuesdays that I've kind of done a hiatus from. And I know we might be doing sorry, the cat.
So you're really excited for something.
We might be doing Tribes of Midgard, or we might be doing Tiny Tina's. So we'll see.
Okay, very, very cool. It's Tuesday. Steven, what would you like to plug, sir?
Hashtag Team Zenobe for the final $1 million. We're gonna make it to the final 2.
Okay. We should do that. We should turn this into a free-for-all at the end.
Boo.
I'm putting my money on the Dante Malik team. I think that's a pretty strong squad right there.
I don't know. My wet crotch can drive a wedge between them.
But he's got a dry crotch, and you know what you could do. And never mind.
Please don't put both of your crotches on my
Please
neck.
don't do that. Please don't do that.
Dante would never do that to
out.
you, Malik.
It'll even out.
Yeah. It's just equilibrium.
It's the worst yin yang ever.
All right, and then Jeremy, Patreon.
Yeah, Aaron Reese on Patreon. Comics, RPG assets, maps, good stuff.
Awesome. As for myself, twitch.tv/thelollygaggers. We coming on Monday. We're playing some Holler for Savage Worlds. You can catch myself and Chuck and Jeremy in that game. Next Friday, we'll be doing some Mothership. You can see me and Steven in that. And Saturdays every week we do One Ring. Steven and we're also in that as well. So come take a look at that. And I think a few of us are going to be on Steam Still Murder tomorrow night. So Chuck, Steven, myself, so you can catch us over there as we're playing through some Shadowrun. And I will toss it over to Adam for the last word.
Actually, I did have one of those tonight. It was great.
Drink. It's called the last word.
Yeah.
Gin drink.
I'm not a
I'm
drink.
reacting, and I'm comfortable with my reaction right now.
Yep,
All
keep
right.
going. Keep going.
So, yeah, I'm just going to underscore what Chuck said. Chuck wrote us an adventure for Grim and Perilous Studios. It's for his YA RPG. It's called The Kids Aren't All Right. Posting the link again, even though it was just posted. Yeah, it will be available for print on demand later. It's not right now. So if you know you're not gonna, you don't want to get it on print on demand, you only want a PDF, go ahead and buy it now. That'd be awesome. We would love you. We already love you anyway. But it'll be even better. We ran it a whole bunch at Gen Con, and I had the distinct pleasure of all sorts of people coming up to me and telling me how wonderful the adventure was and going, yeah, tell Chuck, he wrote it. And it was amazing. So he did a fine job. Check it out.
Fantastic. Link is in the chat, and if you're watching this on YouTube, maybe we can get Adam to drop a link in the description of the video when this posts, whenever you post it. But I guess that's
Chuck,
it
help
for
me
us.
remember.
Yeah. Thank you for everyone who hung out tonight. Thank you for those of you who are watching this later on VOD or on YouTube. We're having a lot of fun with it. Grant Howitt, if you're watching this, or Christopher Taylor, anyone
of course
involved,
he's watching. We're best friends.
anyone involved, Steven's a fraud. I actually am the Hart fan. Steven is just, well, he's a nice man, but he's an imposter. Good night, everybody.
Imposter.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.